Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Honorable Minister Raja Nasir, Minister of Agriculture, Gilgit, Baltistan, Mr. Hassan Bakhtawari, President ICCI, Mr. Zafar Bakhtawari, former President ICCI, distinguished members of delegation from Islamabad, my diplomatic colleagues from Islamabad, a very good evening to all of you. I would like to express my gratitude, first and foremost, to ICCI for hosting this event on the eve of your Independence Day celebration, which is tomorrow. So this is very befitting gathering among like-minded people to forge a closer collaboration among us. Because basically, for me, in sharing my experience with regards to our tourism development in my country, it takes decades of perseverance, consistency in our policy direction, and the whole of nation approach, meaning people at the grassroots level, in the village level, up to the policymaker level, as well as at the leadership level. So what I'm trying to say here is that from our experience, it takes decades of initiative, huge efforts by our people to see the result of our tourism industry. I still recall back in the early 1980s where my government spent billions of US dollars to promote Malaysia in the United States of America. That was about 30-something years ago. And we spent, in terms of our advertisement, which we still use that logo now, or rather that slogan now, Malaysia is truly Asia. I think you all know that Malaysia is truly Asia. For those who have been to Malaysia, you would find we have the indigenous people, we have the Chinese community in Malaysia, as well as the Indian community in Malaysia, living harmoniously together and trying to chart the future of our country, like what Mr. Hassan was mentioning, that we need to create a policy that is conducive for the next generation. I think our time will come when we have to end our journey in life. We would pass the baton to our next generation. So this is very befitting summit on the eve of your Independence Day, 77 years of independence of Pakistan. Malaysia gained our independence in 1957, which is more or less 10 years younger than Pakistan. But what we did in terms of our development agenda, we were very consistent, regardless of who is in power, the government of the day, we would continue, the civil servant, the business people would continue with our policy to make our country diversify our economy and so on. So this is very important because I'm sharing from our experience, and capacity building with regards to human capital is very important. Malaysia has been partner with Pakistan since the early 1980s. We contributed in terms of our capacity building to Pakistan. What the program that we call Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program. We invited officials from Pakistan as well as business people to learn from our experience on how we develop our tourism industry, Islamic tourism industry, for example, halal industry, and other type of good governance, Islamic finance, and so on. These are among the cornerstone, or rather the mainstay of our economy in Malaysia. So I just would like to share with you here, politically we are very close, Malaysia and Pakistan, no doubt about that. We are like brothers and sisters. As we speak, there are about almost 200,000 Pakistani diaspora in Malaysia, earning their living, remitting money back to Pakistan. And we welcome Pakistani to come to Malaysia for employment. And because we know Pakistani are very hardworking. And similarly, we want to see Pakistan to be one of the leading countries in terms of your economic development in this region and beyond. According to World Bank forecast, by the year 2050, Pakistan would be among the top 20 economies of the world. So, but 2050 is about, what, 20-something years from now. This is where people like you need to put your minds and thoughts together and try to develop this country, because you have your own unique niche area in Pakistan. You are good in your defense industry. You have a very huge army force here in this country. We collaborated very well in terms of defense industry between Malaysia and Pakistan. And another thing is you are one of the top poultry producing country in the world. Top 10. Chicken, poultry. COVID-19 taught us a lesson for Malaysia in terms of food security. We had to import our supply of chicken, meat, from as far as Brazil. Australia, New Zealand, they are our traditional market, import market for meat. So Pakistan can play your role together with Malaysia, and beyond that, together with ASEAN. ASEAN has about 670 million population base, which is young population base, together with your population base of 240 million people. So these are the statistics that I want to share with you. I'm sure you know about all this. Nowadays, it's not difficult to get information. All you need to do is ask your uncle Google, he will tell you. But we need to pick the strength and leverage on what we can and synergize our energy towards the development of Pakistan, Malaysia, and ASEAN, and for the good of the world. Talking about tourism industry here in Pakistan, I spoke to some business people back in Malaysia. More of a perception rather than reality in terms of your security concern here. If you go to Lahore, for example, you go to Karachi, and you go to any part of the world, there are bound to be criminality, element of bad luck and things like that. But in Pakistan, you people are very warm, and you have that ingredient. And what I'm trying to say here, in terms of your potential, I've been attending many conference, summit, seminar in Pakistan, and I've been to the Torkham border also, visiting your development in that region, crossing to Afghanistan. So Pakistan is strategically central in Central Asia. And like I said earlier, politically, Pakistan, Malaysia, we are close. I am expecting my Prime Minister to visit Pakistan very soon. And we would want to forge a closer cooperation with Pakistan. And among the MOUs that would be looked at would be cooperation in tourism sector. We can share our development experience, how we did this public-private partnership in terms of developing our tourism industry in Malaysia. And of course, we have to persevere, convince the international players, and more importantly, I just want to stress here before I end my remarks, you business people who go overseas, you are also tourists. But at the same time, tourists who go to overseas, they are not necessarily business people. So you have to have your own confidence in your economy before you try to invite international players to come to your country. If many Pakistani business people would rather put their money in the Middle East, for example, why would Malaysian business people or Asian or ASEAN business people would want to invest here, because Pakistani are shying away from investing in Pakistan. You see, you put your money in the bank here, you get about 20% interest rate. That's very high. That goes to show that the economy is not very healthy. You look at the, what they call loan. Here, if you take loan from the bank, your interest is about 1/4, 25% interest loan that you have to pay to the bank. And where the liquidity is there in the economy in Pakistan, but Pakistani rather park their money outside of the country. So when we had our economic crisis back in 1999, we called all our business people who invested abroad to come back to Malaysia and invest in Malaysia, to have your own confidence in your own economy. If you tell me that you are not confident with your own house, or rather you're not confident with your own wife, the cooking that she does, why would other people want to taste her cooking? Something like that. It's very simple, but I think this need to be considered